Blaster horns. Why? Because they were on sale at Princess Auto. There's the, see which one it is? One of them is a low, one of them is a high. I'm just gonna install them both. Let's find out why. This is my wife's 2011 Kia Forte 5. The horn, it seems to only have one tone, and it's pretty loud in the garage here, but it's not so loud out on the road. It feels like you're not doing anything when you hit it. Let's try it. I don't know. These are pop rivety things, so the screw actually kind of pulls out of the core. There, that one's working. Pulls out of the core and allows the fingers to squeeze in more easily. But if the screw doesn't come out, of course, you can just pop it. Got those four out. So you're like, ah, the horn is right there. And it's only a single horn on this car. That's why it sounds so cheesy. You need the dual tones. The grill still needs to come off to get good access. And there are a bunch of Phillips screws. Maybe you can see one there. Maybe you can see one there. If I put the phone down. Yeah. Where is it? So that's where you're going to need a stubby screwdriver to get in there. Something like that. All right, so there'll be a number of screws depending on if someone's been in there before and lost them. There's also a number of clips depending on if someone's been in there before and broken them. So there's a clip on there. There's a clip here. So once you get all these screws out, screw there, then this kind of goes, gets unclipped from the inner piece. There you go. And then there's that last clip. There, it just kind of comes off. So there's the bumper and places for screws and clips. And there's the grill. I'm not going to step on it. I need a box of parts. So I got two horns here. It only came with one horn. That's why it always sounded cheesy. And I'm not just replacing it because it sounded cheesy. It also, this thing was cutting out. So some days it wouldn't work at all. And that's unacceptable, really. All right, let's figure out how we're gonna do this. Probably gonna involve some cutting of wires and some tears. Whatever. Let's see, so this old horn from Kia says it's actually has some nice numbers on it. 110 decibels. And I believe it says low in the bottom right corner, so it's just a low tone. It's a single low tone. So I've got a dual setup, and I've just realized something in this dual setup. Other than the fact that they're rated at, somewhere in here, 133 decibels, which they claim is twice as much. I forget how to do decibel math, but 133 versus 110 in this case, it's just a whole lot more decibels, right? I just kind of run out of socket here. Hey, I found my 10 mil. No, that'll work. It's not spinning on the back. I need to switch tools again. This is why the smallest job, you need every tool. Look at this. Oh, my favorite. She's got a little bit floppy over the years, but now when do I stop? Oh, it's kind of straightening itself out. Oh, perfect. Dude, you would not even know. You wouldn't even think to question that. And then on the back, this is a perfect tool for the back of here too. The nut that's on the back of the horn. Get it nice and tight, and then we'll just, ooh, I like that. I like that little bit of a cheeky kind of, it's not pointing straight down. Kind of cheeky. Should do the other one. Maybe if I can do that one-handed. Oh, why not? Let's use the original hardware rather than the stuff that came with the kit. There you go, give that one a little cheeky kick. And that way with it kicked like that, it's harder to tell that they're not both level with each other. tighten that one up. Well, you get the idea. Next, test fit, and then wiring. Okay, I'd say test fit is a success. My sticking out bolt there doesn't interfere with anything. Lots of room in behind there. I don't know if you can see them. There's one right there. They're kind of up in the upper part. Right, so wiring. I gotta get some wire. That's always sad when you cut into a factory harness, but you know what? This thing, this beautiful weather pack. And the sad thing, this works intermittently, so I don't even know if I should maybe take this. What is that? Glue? It's like silicone. So as you can take this plug apart. And you know what? This isn't going back in. 110 decibels. I'm never using this again. So I'm gonna save the factory wiring by taking this plug apart and reusing this end of the plug. Here's the silicone that came out of here. So that is well built anyway, even if it sounds like chintzy, because it's only a single tone and it's got no snail, man. It's got no snail to it. The rivets, they're not screws. Ease of assembly. The nice part is it almost looks like there's center punch marks in the rivets. So let's drill those out. I already did the one on the bottom. Do this one on the top here. Oh, going a little bit off center. Some plastic. So, shoot the vacuum on there. Maybe I used a bit that was a little bit too small. Well, we're into the plastic there. Oh yeah, it's starting to move. Just got to get under there and pry on it a little bit. That'll come right off. There we go. Pop. Hey. Oh, those are the actual contacts. Right. Cool. Okay then. Hopefully I can solder to what's left of those. And take the other set and probe it. Oop. So it does look like that piece of metal there goes into there. Yeah, great. That'll work. That'll work. Okay, so those are soldered in. While I was soldering them in, I realized that I could just put a nut and bolt in there too. So we're just about ready to hook it up. Here's the harness I made. I put a little heat shrink over the ends. That's for that horn, and then it goes over the other horn. And I thought about putting some hardware through there and bolting that down, but I thought that just gives you a place to short out on things. So I'm just gonna wrap this with electrical tape and put a couple zip ties on it. Well, pretty happy with that. Oh, I guess we should test it before we put the cover on. I know the cover's gonna clear. I had way too much wire between the two, I just guessed. But I think it's actually kind of smart to come from the factory wiring into my little adapter to the first horn, and then go back down the factory wiring and out of the wind, right? Zip tied to that, out of the wind, down along the crash bar, zip tied far enough away from any of these mounting holes for the grill. And the only piece that's gonna be flapping in the wind is gonna be this. Let's test it out. Just gonna knock the coffee right off the bumper there. The headlight, whatever. Here we go. Sounds a bit more sophisticated. Insert the old horn here. All right, and this is after. like it. Okay, fine, I'll film this part. It's important to get those bottom clips in first. So make sure everything lines up. And then if we push here, yeah, you can, there, totally engaged. And then probably put those bottom screws in first. Otherwise, you got to figure it out yourself. Sorry. Like I said, don't be afraid to break some clips and leave out some screws, because yeah, it's probably going to come apart again anyway. Now, I think you can screw these back in, but you can also just push them back in. So, there you go. Oh, just for giggles, I should compare it to the Odyssey. All right, and this is after.